Howdy, soldiers. As I post this, it is October 31st, so happy Halloween! Samhain greetings to all those who celebrate. Did you buy candy? Are you finished your costume? Maybe you're listening to this as you get ready for a Halloween party. Your makeup looks great, queen. Or maybe you're watching this after the fact, like, oh, shit, that explains a lot. Why I saw so many people in wigs outside yesterday. Well, I also guess that depends on what neighborhood that you live in. The gay village, Halloween, time and place where a lot of people wear wigs. Now, I didn't want to put out a video on Halloween reads on Halloween because unless you made a deal with a demon to get express shipping, you probably wouldn't be able to actually get or read books. And that's the only reason. It's totally not because I haven't read any of the horror books that I plan to this October. Also happened to come across a trend on TikTok that is called a hear me out cake. The premise of a hear me out cake is you get a cake and then you stick a little label or a picture of somebody that you think is hot into the cake. But the people that are going on these hear me out cakes are not traditionally attractive, nor are they real sometimes. Sometimes they're cartoon characters. Sometimes they're like a weird villain from a movie. The whole point of these is to argue your case why you think this person or being or creature is hot. We're talking weird, wacky, whimsical. We're talking not even real people, like concepts of things even. Like some people are like, oh, like Lola Bunny, hear me out. And you're like, yeah, obviously the hot, sexy bunny with boobs is attractive, okay? You're not special. Oh, I just heard my neighbor come home in the middle of me saying that. Well, I haven't gotten written up by Strata yet. Then I started thinking who would be on my hear me out cake, particularly with book-related things, because that is, my whole thing. And I also realized that I'm allergic to most cakes. So we're not gonna do cakes today. We're gonna do little cutouts of pumpkins that I've created. I feel like it's still festive, okay? It's in the spirit, as it were. So for the consideration of the people, I have 12 Hear Me Out pumpkins to talk about today. So without further ado, grab a drink, grab a snack, and buckle in, and let's do a Halloween book-related, inspired Hear Me Out cake video. Buckle up, it's gonna be weird. And we're not talking about oh, Kaz Brecker from Six of Crows, he's a bad guy, but hear me out, he's really nice on the inside. No. We're talking weird. We're talking wild. We're talking things like the entirety of Starling House. Hear me out. So Starling House is a semi-sentient gothic manor. And I don't know what about that gets me going, but oh my god, I would like to be there. And I mean, come on, tell me you've never looked at a gabled roof and been like, ooh, damn, that's sexy. The gates to the property are these cool wrought iron monstrosities that will attack people who it doesn't want in the house. And yeah, sure, it takes a little bit of your blood to get inside, but so many government agencies have my social security number. How's that any different? Because if you think about it, oh, we're all a little bit prickly up front, but then once you get to know them, and then you're like, oh, hey, actually, you're pretty nice. Maybe I'll do something nice for you. And then we can reciprocate. And there's just something about an old gothic manor that has a forest and gardens behind it that sometimes magical monsters come out of. I'm just that seems ideal to me if I were to get a house. And both marriage and real estate is all about signing contracts, right? So how different is it really? So I think Starling House is a great way to start off this video. How was that? Was that okay? Is that too weird? Because this is what we're going for, okay? This is the level of crazy that we're at. But I understand the concept of a semi-sentient house being attractive is a lot. Okay, let's do a person this time. Well, could you call him that? The next bachelor on this list is Sebastian from the City of Bones series. Hear me out. I feel about Sebastian Morgenstern the same way I feel about the Darkling from the Shadow and Bone series, where it's is he actively evil? Yes. Is he killing a lot of people? Yes. Is he irredeemable? Yes. But he's also my special boy. Everyone already knows the Darkling is sexy. That's his whole thing, right? And I blame Ben Barnes and his beautiful face for reawakening that obsession in me. But we're not putting the Darkling on this list because that's basic bitch. I was a hardcore Sebastian stan before I even knew what that word was. I was fully Team Sebastian until we found out that he's actually her brother. I literally have a tattoo from this man. Okay, not from him, but because of him. So this tattoo here is Latin, and it means, if I cannot bring down heaven, then I will raise hell, which is from Virgil's Aeneid. But I first heard it, 15-year-old Rachel first read that in here because it's something Sebastian says, and I thought, damn, that's so freaking cool. So later, I got it tattooed on me. That's how much of a chokehold this man has on me. He's tall, he's handsome, he knows how to use a sword, he's cultured. Literally this entire book is just him taking Clary on various adventures via portal throughout Europe, and at some point, I remember that they go to a club that has a bone chandelier, and that was when I first learned about the Bone Chapel in the Czech Republic, and one day I will be going there. You know what, while we're on the subject of demon men, the next gentleman demon that is on this list is Darlington from Ninth House, but when he's in demon mode. Hear me out. Darlington is an academic who accidentally gets possessed by a demon, which, like, it happens sometimes, right? Anything in the pursuit of knowledge. And truly, by the end of Hellbent, we are skipping on down to hell like it is a corner store 7-Eleven, so I feel like it was inevitable that you would contract some kind of demon at some point or another. Darlington by himself, kind of a stick in the mud, a little bit annoying, a little too studious, right? He needs to, like, let loose a little. Hell itself literally names him the Gentleman Demon, which means that he's still polite and courteous, even if he gets a little weird sometimes. And that's my type. And also, glow stick. And if you know, you know. Lee Bardugo, I will never forgive you for the glow stick line. I just have a thing for demonic men, and I don't know what that says about me, considering that I am currently dating a cinnamon roll of a woman. Actually, I like this better. Okay, never mind, we're moving everything onto the ladder. Speaking of hot ladies that I would like to date, the next bachelorette on the docket is Niia from The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. Now, hear me out. Niia is the dark goddess that created vampires because she was so salty about her god lover going and creating humans with somebody else. She was like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna be a girl boss on my own, creates vampires so that she'll have something to love her, which, like, I feel like we need to maybe think about therapy at this point, instead of creating another race of people that drink blood, but that's, you know, you do you. We're all on our own healing journeys. She's kind of a bitch in that regard, but she can turn back time. So I think that may actually equal out. That's fucking cool as hell. And because she's an actual goddess, she's a total smoke show. Like, the whole skin is white as milk, lips as red as blood, hair as black as night was literally invented for her. And something else cool that her magic does is that when you are heir to a vampire house, because there's, I think, 3 courts of vampires in here, you get this sick-ass tattoo that's like this red ink blood tattoo. I'm a fiend for the aesthetic. That is cool as hell. Please give that to me. And, like, is she a bitch or is she just a confident woman who goes after what she wants? And why can't it be both? You know how hot people can get away with more stuff? This bitch could sink her teeth into my neck or her knife into my back, and I would not mind. I would thank her for it. Next up might be a little more of an explanation because it's Kell P, the Kelpie, from Holly Black's Stolen Heir / Elfheim series. Oh, would you like that fake out? Oh, like I could ever put Kell on there. You don't need an excuse for Kell. Why do I find a wet man who is sometimes a horse? I've never said that out loud. Whew, that ex-horse girl inside me is really rearing her head. Kelpies are a fey creature of Celtic folklore that I've been obsessed with for a very long time, which, yet again, I blame the horse girl in me. They're a creature that lives in lakes or ponds, and they appear as either a horse or a beautiful young man, and they will pretend to drown so that people will go and help them, but then, like, once they're there, they will drown them and eat them. And look, it's well known that I love a tall, gangly string bean of a man, which is exactly how Kelpies appear in their human form. This is a creature specifically designed to lure me specifically into a lake, and that's why I don't like lakes. I do believe the Kelpie in here also appears in the Tithe series, which is her, like, very first Fae series, and I still remember him from them. A chaotic neutral character, if you will. He does help them in their quest, like, a bit, but so many of the romance girlies have a morally great character. Here's a character with no morals. See how you like that? So against all my better judgment, the Kelpie is going right there. Now, earlier we did talk about the Darkling, and we already have a Lee Bardugo character on this list, but we're gonna pull another one out today. And it's not gonna be the person that you think. So, Sankt Sjurus from the King of Scars duology, hear me out. Now, he is a dragon, because he fought a dragon and then absorbed his magic, so he's like a full-time dragon now. He is 400 years old. He was, until recently, trapped by magic in the fold, but he does have every Grisha power ever, so that's pretty cool. He's kind of this tough love figure, especially with Zoya, who has its own, like, inner turmoil, and he's like, well, do you want to get better or are you just gonna mope about it? And by the end of it, he's this like amazing mentor figure, and Zoya has to absorb his powers. Spoiler, she like gains flight and can like hear his voice in her head sometimes. And he's just like, you're doing great, sweetie. And like, don't we all want a man like that? With the perspective of age, he's like turned a new leaf and he's trying to like impress his knowledge and wisdom and magic onto the new generation to like be better than I was. And like, we love growth in a man. He's over here being like, I'll teach you how to breathe fire and fly. And you're like, okay, daddy, what else? Speaking of dragons, Taran, from Fourth Wing. Just the dragon from Fourth Wing, all right? Well, hey, you know what? Hear me out. Are there issues with this book? Yes. Are there issues with Rebecca Yarros? Also, yes. Is Taran the biggest, baddest, scariest motherfucker that I have ever read? Also, yes. He's so cool. I freaking love dragons. You all know what Fourth Wing is, and if you haven't, welcome from underneath the rock that you've been living under. How did you get here? Everyone goes on about this series being like, oh, Xaden, he's so hot, he's so sexy, ooh, Zaddy. And I'm like, no. Boy, no boy. Dragon. This is all about power dynamics, right? Because the whole point of this is that Violet is small and has a disability. So she has to outthink everyone else, right? Because she knows she's not going to win by strength. Taran is the biggest and scariest of the black dragons. He's so scary, and yet he is an accessible king. He's like, oh yeah, sure, you want to like learn how to fly? I will teach you. Oh, you need a saddle to stay on me? Hell yeah, let's freaking go. I will never complain about this. Oh, you want to bring your little golden dragon sidekick along? Yeah, we'll make a harness, strap her to my chest. Who cares? He's like the most supportive mentor figure / dad there ever was. And he's already mated to Xaden's dragon. Very loyally. And it's like, oh my god, he's loyal too? Makes me want him even more. Oh no, I'm running out of room. Okay, we'll have to put it on the bookshelf again. We're gonna get a little extra freaky with this next one because I have another concept for you. The next thing on here that I think would really stoke my fire is the Eternal Staircase from the short story, The Eternal Staircase from 50 Beasts to Break Your Heart by Jenna Rose Nethercott. Hear me out. Oh, sorry, Sundown at the Eternal Staircase is, their full government name. It's my favorite short story of the collection, and it's a tourist trap of this odd staircase that goes down into the earth, and no one has ever found the bottom of it, and weird things happen there. The short story freaks me out in the best way possible because it's so uncanny. There are certain rules about how you interact with it. Number 1 rule is do not enter the Eternal Staircase after 8 p.m. I am also an introvert. I understand. I need some alone time at the end of the day. Absolutely no running down the Eternal Staircase. Great. I hate running. Do not remain in the Eternal Staircase for more than 3 consecutive hours. I'm not somebody to be in a codependent relationship. I can respect that. Do not visit the Eternal Staircase with a sweetheart. They will grow to love the Eternal Staircase more than you. They will accidentally say the Eternal Staircase's name instead of yours when you're having sex. And not to brag or anything, but I have unwittingly, mind you, been the side chick 3 separate occasions. So we have so much in common that we could bond over. I just can't help it. There's some kind of sorcery about me, just like there's some kind of sorcery about the Eternal Staircase. As we previously established, in Starling House, I love some good architecture, and this is just another example of that. What can I say? I have a type. Oh, okay, we're gonna have to start right back where we started. Just like the Eternal Staircase. Do you ever glance over at your lover and be like, wow, I would really love you more if you had more eyes and teeth? Sometimes I think that, because I would absolutely love to date Benji from Hell Followed With Us by Andrew Joseph White. But at the end, when he's already turned into a monster of biblical proportions, hear me out. This book right here, queer horror angel apocalypse plague novel. Super gross. Benji is a trans boy who's been infected with a virus that's slowly turning him into a monster of biblical proportions that has way too many eyes and way too many teeth. Way too many teeth for who, right? Everyone likes something different. I'm bisexual. I like boys, girls, creatures of the void, whatever. If you're cute, I'll date you, Plus, as you may be able to tell, I like bones and collect bones, and my girlfriend has given me bones as gifts, like not hers. And I don't feel like that's that different than your mutated angel lover being like, hello, here, I brought you some teeth. Just don't ask where they got them from. And on the subject of mutations, I already have red hair, and I have extra teeth because I never got my bottom wisdom teeth removed, so I'm like halfway there already. But like something about just becoming the monster inside and not worrying about what society thinks of you, that's hot. Now, I am already in a long-distance relationship and have been for quite some while. So that's why I feel like this next person and I will get along just fine. Because even though my partner and I are, maybe like 4 or 5 hours away and this person is truly in another dimension, I don't think that's gonna stop love, because I think Solmir from For the Throne by Hannah Witten, in his demon form, Prince of the Underworld form, is sexy as hell. Hear me out. Through a series of unfortunate events and some badly placed dark magic, Niia finds herself in this otherworldly, like, the upside down. Trees are growing from the sky and goats scream like humans, and there's this one hot dude named Solmir who's there, who you'll find out is like some king of old who's been trapped in this other world for a while now, and he has like fully black eyes, and I think he has black from his fingertips like all the way up his arms, and most people would be like, whoa, get that away from me. But me hearing that, I'm like, oh my god, what else is he hiding under that cloak? I love a pretty boy, and he's described as having long hair and this beautiful, elegant face. He just happens to also be like a little demon-y. And because these are like Beauty and the Beast related, I understand how people will be like, oh, but he's like so sexy once the curse is lifted and stuff. No, you have to love him as he is. Are you really gonna be like, oh, I'm waiting for a man who has blue eyes and his eyes are fully black? Like, girl, are you gonna be that selfish and shallow about this whole situation? And not only is he pretty, but he wants to bring real change to the Shadowlands. Okay, it's been under the tyrannical rule of these dark gods, and he is ready to bring them and their twisted powers down. We love a pretty politically progressive king who wants to dismantle systems of oppression. Like, okay, work. I am quickly running out of space. I should have planned this better, but I didn't. Second last is really all about the potential, because I think that the Nightmare King living inside of Elspeth's head will be kind of cool. Hear me out. Like, sure, he's the spirit of a man who's been dead for a couple hundred years, who also may have an agenda of his own, wanting to, like, regain his kingdom. But you know what? He has drive, and I respect that. He keeps promising some big things, and in my experience, it's good to know who you're dealing with. There's a lot of things that people could promise are big, and you want to know if they can deliver on that. He does sometimes appear as, like, this kind of black, hairy, dog-like beast, but like, I kind of look like that in the morning before I've had coffee and a shower. So, plus, girl, you gotta get him out of your head, okay? He's living in there rent-free, and in this economy, if someone's living with you, they had better be paying up. And he lets you see magic and like sense magic. That is so cool. If I had a partner who would allow me to sense magic, I would be the most codependent bitch you have ever seen. Plus, it seems like his two big love languages are gift-giving and quality time. Which, like, same. And last, but certainly not least, I love a partner who likes oh my god, horrifying. I love a partner who likes literature and art and knows how to have a good time. Plus, I respect somebody who's honest with me, and I feel like I could get all that and more with the picture of Dorian Gray from The Picture of Dorian Gray. Hear me out. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, Rachel, that's horrible, because not only is the portrait of Dorian Gray gross, because it's literally a representation of all the sin that he takes on so that he stays young and hot, and then the painting just gets gross, but the picture is honest. And I value honesty in a relationship. He's not trying to pretend to be anybody else but himself. And guilty as charged. I love a good gossip sesh, especially when it's about people that I don't know. So he would definitely be the number one person to go to get the down and dirty on like whatever the actual guy is doing. He has secrets. He knows debauchery. He'd fit right into my life and my apartment and my aesthetic, because I love stuff with ornate frames. He can whisper things in my ear at night, like, why does the whispering have to be evil things? Maybe I'm already thinking the evil things. All you dark romance girlies, you love a man who is a victim of circumstances, who has to like learn how to be good and love the main character. I present you the when was this first out? 1891. The Picture of Dorian Gray is all about corruption and morality. But what if he just needs a second chance? What if I could fix him? Little turpentine, elbow grease, fix that right up. And so I think that is that on that? Oh my goodness, this made no sense and was very fun. Happy Halloween, my little pumpkins. Thank you for joining me today in whatever state of costume dress you are currently in. Please leave me some of your Hear Me Out characters in the comments below. I'm so intrigued. I love this trend. It's so funny. I literally said I'm attracted to an entire house and also a wet horse. Like, it can't get weirder than this. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that, but there is a small child screaming somewhere. And I agree, that is a very disturbing fact I just said. I mean, it is currently a couple days from Halloween. I guess there could be something spooky, scary happening right now. And it's me filming this video. Also, if you don't mind, please leave me your favorite Halloween movie in the comments because I'm going to be alone for Halloween this year. Or maybe I'll finally pick up one of the horror novels that I put aside specifically for October and then just never picked up. I guess that's my eternal curse, just never being able to finish my TBR pile and wanting an eternal staircase to step on me. You know where I click to like the video. You know where I click to subscribe. I hope you guys are all having a nice day or night wherever you are, and I will see you all next week. Bye!